She didn't say no, but she couldn't say anything at all, because someone drugged her drink, because someone wanted sex, not consent, because someone committed sexual assault and thought they'd get away with it. This isn't rare, this isn't random, this is a 2025 reality. In college dorms, friend groups, house parties, offices, even churches. And today, we're breaking the silence. We're going deeper than headlines, hashtags, or whispers behind closed doors. Because the truth, they didn't just take her body. They tried to take her power. But power can be reclaimed, and today, we start. Let's be clear, crystal clear. Sexual assault is any sexual act done without clear, sober, conscious, and enthusiastic consent. That means unwanted touching, groping on the dance floor, pressuring someone into sex, ignoring the word no, exploiting someone too drunk to fight back, raping someone in their sleep, filming someone without permission. If she didn't say yes freely, clearly, and without fear, it is assault. Consent isn't a checkbox. It's not the absence of no. It's the presence of power, her choice. And one of the most sinister forms of assault today? Drugging someone to take away their voice? This is drug-facilitated sexual assault, and it's more common than most dare to admit. Let's name the weapons. Rohypnol roofies causes amnesia and sedation. GHB odorless, tasteless, and works fast. Ketamine causes disconnection from reality. Benadryl mixed with alcohol over the counter and lethal when used to manipulate. Even melatonin slipped into soda or cocktails to induce compliance. This isn't flirting, this isn't seduction, this is chemical warfare on women's bodies. Rape is not about sex, it's about power. And if a man needs to drug her, he's not a man, he's a predator. Sexual assault doesn't happen because she was too sexy. It happens because someone felt entitled to her body. Boys raised to believe they deserve sex as a reward. Men who think silence means consent. Men who don't hear no or ignore it altogether. This is not about passion. This is about domination, entitlement, and control. Let's talk facts. Most women are assaulted by someone they know. Assault doesn't always involve force sometimes. It's manipulation, guilt, silence. Many women freeze because their brains are protecting them from trauma. If she was scared, silent, or still, that doesn't mean she agreed. That means she survived. The pain doesn't end when the room goes dark. Sometimes it lives on quietly, heavily in the life that follows, like Maya's. She was 19 when it happened, drugged at a college party by someone she trusted. She didn't scream, she didn't fight, she couldn't. And for years, she blamed herself. But today, Maya is a crisis counselor guiding other women through the very storm she once barely survived. She didn't just survive, she alchemized her pain into purpose. Survivors carry the weight of that night for years. Nightmares, flashbacks, shame, panic during intimacy, isolation, hypervigilance, suicidal thoughts, fear of not being believed, and still, they rise. But let's say this together if it happened to you. It wasn't my fault. I didn't deserve it. I am not broken because you're not. You're whole, even in the healing, even in the silence. Let's go deeper, because this isn't just about individuals. It's about systems built to silence survivors. Why don't women report? Because she's afraid she'll be called a liar, overdramatic, attention-seeking, confused, or too drunk to know what really happened. She's afraid her rapist is respected, or wealthy, or protected. She's afraid of losing her job, her friends, her reputation. She's afraid the legal system won't believe her. And sadly, she's often right. Only 1 out of every 100 rapists is ever convicted. And courtrooms still ask women, "What were you wearing? Did you lead him on? Why didn't you scream?" But here's the truth in 2025. Silence is not consent. Stillness is not agreement. Trauma is not a performance. We must dismantle this culture, the one that protects predators and punishes survivors. And to every woman who was told, "Don't ruin his life," here's your reply. He ruined yours. You owe him nothing. And your voice matters. If you've survived and you're still standing, that's power. That's grace. That's unshakable courage. Let this be your daily courage boost. Before we rise, take one moment to breathe and ask yourself, what am I proud of myself for surviving? Say thank you to your past self for holding on, for not giving up, for showing up today. My body is mine. My story is mine. And I don't need anyone's permission to heal. You don't have to wait for justice to begin healing. Start where you are right now. Even the Bible reminds us, God is within her, she will not fall. Psalm 46:5. Healing isn't weakness, it's sacred resilience, and God walks every step with you. Build your empowerment bank. Affirmations, boundaries, therapy, safety planning, sisterhood, prayer, journaling, taking your power back, piece by piece. Fuel your gratitude bank. Every step forward, no matter how shaky, is sacred. Guard your energy bank. Cut off anyone who minimizes your pain. Reclaim your space. Let your healing be loud. And if this ever happens to you, speak, even if your voice shakes, even if no one else believes you, yet believe yourself first. Your pain is real. Your truth is powerful. As Tarana Burke, founder of the Me Too movement, says, you don't have to tell your story publicly, but you deserve to tell it to yourself and believe it. And your healing deserves to be heard. To the boys and young men listening, you are not powerless. You can protect without controlling. You can respect without needing to be feared. You can be the reason a woman feels safe, not silent. The world doesn't just need fewer predators. It needs more protectors, more brothers, more men who listen, who believe, and who honor boundaries like sacred ground. To every woman watching, you are not alone in this. You are loved, you are rising, and your story is not over. And remember, solo doesn't mean small, it means unstoppable. Hit subscribe and your fearless journey continues right here. I'm Naomi Grace. You've survived the silence. Now it's time to rise. Because you are louder than fear, and your healing is your birthright. The world may have tried to break you, but you are proof that power can rise from pain. So until next time, wrap yourself in courage, set your boundaries like sacred ground, and never hand your power to anyone again. Check the description for helpful tools to feel safe and secured. I'll see you in the next episode.